Hi, welcome for this video. In the previous video we were looking at Rudolf Foucault, and we saw that this German scientist reported that all cells come from pre-existing cells. So together with the other scientists who had discovered the first instances, that is Schleiden, Matthias Schleiden, Matthias Schleiden and Theodor Schwann and Foucault, these three together, their principles brought about what we call now the cell theory. So this accumulated research is summarized in the cell theory. This accumulated research is summed up in the cell theory. So what does the cell theory really state? So the major principles of the cell theory are but three. One, all organisms are made of cells. All organisms are made of cells. Two, all existing cells are produced by other living cells. All existing cells are produced by other living cells. And not spontaneously as previously believed by Schwann. Then the third one is the cell is the most basic unit of life. The cell is the most basic unit of life. Means that all life comes from cells. So here we are. When we really look at where we came from, we can see that here we are having these discoveries made by early scientists. So Robert Hooke was the first one. He used his three lens or compound microscope. Other scientists came in. We had Foucault. So we had Anton van Leeuwenhoek being the next. And what did he really come up with? Anton van Leeuwenhoek was the one who looked at the droplets of water, and he came up with the animalcules. He was the first to see moving organisms with a microscope. Then came Matthias Schleiden. Who, of course, concluded that plant cells are made of cells. And as he talked to his countryman Schwann also concluded that animal cells also are made of cells, and he was amazed by the similarity between the two. Then came Foucault, who made a great discovery of discovering that cells really come from existing cells and not as previously stated by Schwann. If you look at the pictures here, you will see what these scientists were trying to draw. As we discussed earlier, we said that our friend here, Anton van Leeuwenhoek, used to sketch everything that he used to see, and these are just but some of the sketches. So Hooke observed cells of dead plant cells. In contrast, van Leeuwenhoek observed and drew microscopic life, which he called animalcules. So from this, you can see how important the two of them contributed to what we now regard as the cell theory. To now what we are regarding as the cell theory. Here we have the pictures of these important people. So in 1865, Hooke was the first to identify cell, and he named them. In 1674, he made Bera lenses. And who is that? Leeuwenhoek. So Leeuwenhoek, the Dutch linen draper, was the one who, of course, was able to see the animalcules. Then Schleiden was the first to note that plants are made of cells. And lastly, in 1836, Schwann concluded that all living things are made of cells, after, of course, showing that even animals are made of cells. And Foucault proposed that all cells come from existing cells, and these are the contributors of the cell theory. These are the people who contributed a great deal to the cell theory. The cells that we know today are, of course, as a result of efforts of many years' discoveries, and we should, of course, thank these people for their effort. So we will stop here for now. In the next lesson, we will be looking at the cell in detail and its structures.